Attention passionate Buffalo, BILLSFANS. Latest news, something big is happening in the AFC East and it could change the game. We're talking about a direct impact on Buffalo Bills' path to another Super Bowl run, a power shift that could leave a division rival stumbling for years. We're bringing this to you firsthand. But before that, if you're a true Buffalo Bills fan, subscribe to the channel to strengthen this passion even more. Show that you're also part of this family. Let's help each other reach 1,000 subscribers. Share with your FRINDS and Buffalo, BILLSFANS. Let's get to the news now, folks. What I'm about to tell you is straight out of the NFL rumor mill, but it's gaining serious traction and could very well reshape the AFC East landscape come next season. We're talking about a potential blockbuster trade involving one of the league's most disruptive defensive tackles, Dexter Lawrence, and it's got Bills fans buzzing. It's a move that could elevate Buffalo's defense to new heights while shaking up the Giants' rebuild plans. So buckle up, because this is a story that might just be the kind of move that defines the Bills' Super Bowl aspirations for years to come. Let's set the scene. Right now, the Giants are in a tough spot. They're sitting at 2-9, and with a cap space of just around $2 million, they're in full rebuild mode. Their defense, which used to be a strength, has been leaking points, allowing an average of 27. 3 points per game, definitely not what you'd expect from a team that once had a promising defense. And it's no secret that their internal cap situation and roster decisions point toward a long, painful rebuild. With Daniel Jones' future up in the air and extensions still pending, the Giants are clearly looking to cut costs and reset. Meanwhile, Buffalo, sitting comfortably at 7-3 and eyeing a deep playoff run, could see an upgrade that might just be the missing piece on their defensive front. Now, the rumor making rounds is that the Giants might trade Dexter Lawrence, one of the league's most disruptive interior linemen, to the Bills in exchange for a third-round pick in 2026 and a fifth-round pick in 2027. Sounds wild, right? But it's not as far-fetched as you might think. After all, Lawrence, who's been a beast this season with impressive stats, 9 solo tackles, 14 assists, 23 combined tackles, half a sack, and 3 sacks, plus an interception for 37 yards in just 11 games, has a market value that could justify such a move. His impact on the field is undeniable. According to PFF, he's got an 89.9 grade in run defense, and his EPA per snap of -0. 11 shows he's consistently disrupting plays. When healthy, Lawrence is a game changer, a guy who can collapse the pocket, stuff the run, and command double teams that open up opportunities for others on the line. Let's talk about what he brings to the Bills: defense. Buffalo's run defense has been solid but not elite, especially after Ed Oliver's groin injury in Week 9. The Bills are giving up around 40 yards per carry, and that's a number that can be cut down significantly with a player like Lawrence anchoring the middle. Imagine him lining up next to Daquan Jones, creating chaos in the trenches. The Bills' front seven would be a nightmare for opposing offenses. With Lawrence, the Bills project to boost their run stuffs by about 9 plays in 2026, with a plus 19% improvement in run defense grades and a reduction in yards per carry from 40 to around 32. That's the kind of upgrade that can make a real difference come playoff time. Moreover, Buffalo's defense would benefit from the versatility Lawrence offers. Despite a minor injury that limited his snaps in Week 9, his consistency since returning has been impressive. He's forced 10 big stops, and his ability to win against double teams, around 30% of the time, means he's a constant threat to disrupt the opposition's game plan. His 82% win rate in gaps shows that he's not just a run stopper, but also a player who can collapse the pocket from multiple angles, creating pressure that leads to turnovers and sacks. His career stats, over 35 sacks and more than 150 tackles, show he's a proven disruptive force, and at just 25 years old, he's entering his prime. Now, on the flip side, the Giants are ready to make this move because they're in a full rebuild. Their defense is allowing 27, 3 points per game, and that's a clear sign of how much they're struggling to stop opponents. Their overall team performance is trending downward, and with Daniel Jones' extension still in limbo and their cap space tight, they're likely to prioritize future assets over current success. The plan seems to be to shed some contracts, clear cap space, and focus on rebuilding their roster from the ground up. Moving Lawrence for draft capital makes sense for them. They get future assets while shedding a player who is earning a significant portion of their limited cap space. What makes this move even more intriguing is how it could directly impact the AFC East and the Bills' Super Bowl chances. Buffalo has been building a balanced team, and adding a player like Lawrence could be the piece that pushes them over the top. Their defense, which is already solid, would be elite with a disruptive force like him in the middle. Plus, the Bills are already trending upward on the odds chart, with Super Bowl LXI odds improving from plus 850 to plus 500, a clear sign that the betting markets see them as serious contenders. Adding Lawrence could be the catalyst for a deep playoff run, especially if the defense can stifle teams like the Chiefs or Bengals in the postseason. And let's not forget the bigger picture here. The Bills' front office has shown a willingness to be aggressive in recent years, making moves to improve the roster and seize their Super Bowl window. Bringing in a disruptive interior lineman like Dexter Lawrence would be a bold statement that Buffalo is all in. It would also send a message to the rest of the league that they're not content with just being good. They want to dominate in the trenches and claim another Lombardi trophy. And with the AFC East becoming more competitive, especially if the Jets and Dolphins continue to improve, the Bills need to stay ahead of the curve. This kind of trade could be the difference maker that allows Buffalo to push through tough playoff defenses and reach the promised land once again. Of course, there are some skeptics. Some might argue that trading away future draft picks, especially a third-rounder in 2026, could hurt the Bills' long-term sustainability. But when you're in a championship window, the priority is to maximize your chances now, and adding a player of Lawrence's caliber does exactly that. Plus, with Buffalo's scouting department and front office proven to be savvy at evaluating talent, they could find ways to replace those picks with other valuable assets down the line. The key here is the potential upside, an elite run stuffer who can also rush the passer and command double teams. That's a game changer, especially in the playoffs when every possession counts. In terms of how the Bills' scheme would adapt, adding Lawrence would allow defensive coordinator Sean McDermott to be even more versatile. They could dial up more blitzes, knowing that Lawrence can collapse the pocket from inside, freeing up edge rushers like Von Miller or Gregory Rousseau to get after the quarterback. It would also improve the Bills' ability to stuff the run, forcing opponents into obvious passing situations. The defense would become more unpredictable, and that's exactly what you want when facing playoff-caliber teams. Now, looking ahead to the postseason, the impact of a move like this could be immense. Lawrence's ability to control the line of scrimmage could be the difference in tight games against top-tier teams like Kansas City or Cincinnati. Imagine him lined up against the best offensive lines. His pressure could lead to turnovers, short fields, and ultimately, more wins. His presence would be felt in the locker room too, as a young leader who's already proven he can perform under pressure. That kind of leadership is invaluable in January football. So in summary, this potential trade Dexter Lawrence to the Bills for a third-round pick in 2026 and a fifth in 2027 isn't just a rumor. It's a move that could recalibrate the AFC landscape, boost Buffalo's Super Bowl odds, and put the Bills in a prime position to dominate both now and in the future. The Giants, on the other hand, are clearly looking to cut costs and rebuild, making this kind of deal a strategic necessity for their long-term plans. Either way, it's a situation worth watching closely because if it happens, it might just be the kind of move that defines the Bills' championship pursuit for years to come. Pause here just for a second. If you want the YOUTUBE algorithm to keep recommending the latest Buffalo Bills news to you, it's super important that you leave a like on this video. Go ahead, it's quick and it makes a big difference. Thank you. Now let us continue with the big reveal. And now, Buffalo Bills fans, I want to hear from you. What's your take on this potential blockbuster trade? Do you think Dexter Lawrence could be the missing piece that takes Buffalo to the next level? Would you be okay giving up a third-round pick in 2026 for a player who could anchor your defensive line for years to come? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. Your opinion matters so much to us and to the Bills. Remember, I'll be back soon with more updates, so stay tuned for the latest Buffalo Bills news. Let's keep the passion alive and keep pushing for that Super Bowl trophy. We're all in this together, and the future looks brighter with moves like these potentially on the horizon.